Well, it's a foggy Saturday morning here in Scotland. Day before, the night before Christmas. So, welcome back to the Orloff Inspirational Network. And once again, we're brought to you in color. Today, we're going to be doing some very important things and having fun here on the Orloff show. Show you the Christmas tree that we have here, and then we'll head on back to the hotel. Yeah, real foggy. Just wanted to show you the Christmas tree set up at the local gas station. Thought we'd get a little Christmas spirit here. The local movie theater's closed for the weekend, and it's probably just as well because there's nothing good coming out of Hollywood to play there. All right. Last night, my wife and I were watching South Pacific, which I remember listening to the soundtrack of that. My father had that soundtrack album for the movie. I was always listening to it when I was growing up. Oh boy. Can't shake this cough. It's really more of a habit than anything. I'm drinking my Mountain Dew. No vowels in Mountain Dew anymore. In Joe Biden's world, we can't afford vowels. Although the Drudge Report says the economy is just doing great. Just fantastic. So it must be true. Let's see. Well, one of the regular viewers of this program, they went into Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona yesterday and put $20 down on my hold pile, which is just a wonderful gift. I really appreciate that. If you're watching, yeah, that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I'm envious of you, though, that you live somewhat close to Gotham City Comics and can go in there and actually buy stuff in person. Because that store is incredible. Those of you that live near Mesa, Arizona, need to be patronizing that magnificent institution, which first opened in September 7th, 1941. A date which will live in not infamy, but in the annals of comic book store history. Yes. Well, I hate when my seatbelt doesn't retract and gets caught in the door. That's not a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, but you didn't come here for Christmas because you guys are all Scrooges and Grinches. You came here to see vintage comic books, and you know, I just bought $3,000 worth of slabbed comics, and I haven't looked at them yet. I don't know what I bought, so I'm about to look at them here live on the air. But I figure since they're slabbed, they must be just incredible comics. All right. So, it's a beautiful day for something, comic book unboxing, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Oh, it's the love theme from Superman the movie being performed by our organist here in the lobby of the Hotel Orloff here in scenic Mount Ayr, Scotland. Look, gentlemen and ladies, the few ladies that watch, 5.6% of the viewership of the Hotel Orloff television program are women. Here is Drusilla the dog. Why are you crying, Drew? The music is so beautiful. It is, it's almost 9 o'clock. That means that the Comic Book Memories show will be on. So I need to put that on upstairs while we comic book bag and board. All right. Here's Alan the cat and Pete the cat. Alan the cat is shy. Pete the cat. Yes, it's Christmas. Santa came early. Okay. Let's get on the Comic Book Memories show. Ladies and gentlemen. When you're watching this, the show will probably already be over, but it's very simple. You have to go to YouTube on your Roku dial, and then I'll tutor you on how the internet works. Is the Wi-Fi even working? Possibly. Oh, there it is. I just saw it. It says Comic Book Memories, also known as CBM. Merry Christmas to all, episode 43. So we click on it, and it says it begins in, I can't read that. 6 minutes, December 23rd. There's 2 people waiting. I guess I'm one of them. All right. Fantastic. So they're having a Christmas special. So we're multitasking here. We're going to go watch that Christmas special. I guess I'll put it on my laptop upstairs. Get my phone charger so my phone will stay powered. Okay, 12 minutes and 34 seconds, and you haven't seen any comic books yet. You guys must be peeing your pants in anticipation. I like it when people that do ostensibly comic book shows don't even show comic books. I think that's great. Like today, I'm going to show you records, so you can learn that there's other bands out there besides Journey. I think that's a fantastic thing. Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills was doing that. Captain Strangelove started doing that. It's like 45 minutes in. Oh, okay, here's the first comic book. That's great. I'm not being sarcastic, because man does not live by comic books alone, ladies and gentlemen. And if you live by comic books alone, then you might be insane. I shouldn't have turned that off. Now I can't see the stairs. I'm going to fall to my doom, my demise, let's see. I was shuffling pictures around the other day, so this Clara Bow poster wound up upstairs. Look at that. Hear her voice. So people didn't really, that was, you've seen Singing in the Rain, so you know the basic scenario of when silent movies, when talkies came in, there were a lot of silent movie stars that didn't make the transition because their voices were not up to snuff for a sound, or they didn't speak English. Like, what was it, Ramon Navarro, who played in the original Ben-Hur? He wasn't even he couldn't even speak English, but in silent movies, that didn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we gotta get this laptop playing. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? Okay. Comic book memories. That's right, because all there is left of comic books are memories. There are no good comic books made today, And the only good comic books made today are reprints of comic books from back then, in my humble opinion. You can disagree all you want. You can unsubscribe. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so I open up my computer. Okay, when I left off yesterday, I was bagging and boarding comics, and then I was going to be sending them off to CGC so I could never read them again. All right. Someone told me if the CGC slabs have to be changed every 10 years. That's just... Oh, well. Well, how have you been doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's been 24 hours since I saw you guys. I'm going to be trying to do some daily shows over the next couple of weeks, maybe even twice a day. Okay, my password. What was it? I never go on this computer. Oh, there we go. I go on it like once a week to get on 4-Color Fossils, or when I go live, which I might go live today. Who knows? Maybe I'll go live later. I don't know about that. Okay. So, we got the computer up and running, and we're ready to find comic book memories, which will start in 2 minutes. And then you won't have to watch their show because you can hear their show. No, don't do that. Watch their show. But if you want to just hear the sound of their show while I talk over it, you could watch this show only. But don't do that. It's the ultimate way to multitask. When I first met my wife, I would have Alex Jones playing through all the radios in the house because I had a whole house transmitter. I still do. It transmits on an FM signal that's not being used, and it'll transmit all through your house, and every radio that has an FM dial will pick up that signal. So no matter where she went, she heard Alex Jones. And then I'd have music playing from a jukebox, and then I'd have some other radio station playing on another radio, and then I'd have the TV playing, and there'd be 4 sources of audio, inescapable. And that drove her crazy, and she didn't like it too much. So I had to stop doing that. But I had been a bachelor for many decades, and that's the world I knew. I was used to hearing lots of voices, so during the summer or during times when I was off of work or weekends, I would just let my browser's been updated to the newest version. I didn't want that Bill Gates. You go to Epstein Island, you stupid. It'll all come out January 1st, you'll see. Of course, we already know Bill Gates was hanging out with Epstein. That's why his wife just left him about a year ago. Okay, we gotta go to YouTube. YouTube. Comic book memories. No, I'll type in Dr. Silver. Dr. Silver. Dr. Silver Age. Because maybe someone else has stuff called comic book memories. Okay, there he is. Okay. What? Is that it? He's starting? Live. There it is. Waiting for Dr. Silverage. I'll put, hello, I'm sign into chat. No, I can't sign in. I'm not logged in here. Okay, wonderful. So, that's what it looks like here. There's the show. We're waiting for it to begin. So, put this down here, and I can watch that while I do this. And drink my Matundu. 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 Oh, that, if I was George Lucas, that would be a great new name for a Star Wars character. That's what he was doing at the end, you know. The names were always kind of crazy in the I love the original Star Wars movies, but you know, like Sith, he took from the Edgar Rice Burroughs John Carter books. Siths were giant Martian Barsoomian mosquitoes that were gigantic, like the size of a VW bug, and Banths were Martian lions with they had 8 legs, right? 8 legs. All the animals on Mars had 8 legs, as I recall. Or was it 6? No, it was 8. I think so. Yeah, so he created those big woolly mammoth-looking things, and he called them Banthas. And you can see where he took everything, you know, basically. But it was marvelous. Those I can't still remember the summer of '77, how wonderful it was to see Star Wars on the big screen, and of course you know all that. You were there, probably, because the YouTube studio says all my viewers are about my age. In their 50s or 60s or early 70s, some in their late 40s. No young people watch this show, apparently, according to the stats. So who knows? Okay. 22 minutes and 3 seconds, and we're going to see a comic book. This is too... Oh, yeah. Oh, he's starting. How do I gotta adjust the sound? You gotta get some surf music or something that is in public domain. Gotta upgrade this theme. So. Okay, what did I do? Pause it? Yeah, experiment, find some good public domain music. Several people that have themes that can be upgraded. Okay, that's good. Fantastic. Okay, here's a book that needs to be bagged and boarded. Harvey. Harvey number 4. Hectic happenings and hilarious hang-ups. Oh my God. Look at that. It's got Richard Nixon guest starring in it.
And ho, 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 and Merry Christmas to all you out there hanging out with us.
Where it all started was, what, about 1968? Well, this isn't from 68. This is early 70s. But in 68, people started buying ads in Marvel Comics selling old comics. And that's when the networking started, and then comic book stores started to open in places like San Francisco, and then they by the summer of '77 there were even comic stores opening where I lived in Arlington, Texas. But they'd be people like Howard Rogowski, who they did an interview with him in Comics Journal where they kidded him because he always said the tape on a comic book was not a defect, and so they kidded with him when they did an interview with him when he was long retired. And of course there was Robert Bell, who's pretty much the guy that invented the comic book bag, and I've got some original Robert Bell bags here that I could show you, but I don't want to do that right now. Anyway.
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, Dr. Soulrage. Rod is dressed up as Santa. Unbelievable. I don't have a Santa suit, or I'd do that, but boy, would that be a foul-mouthed show if I was on as Santa. I would really take advantage of that. I got to get a Santa suit before next year. Rent one or something.
I gotta go on. I got a little bit more to do.
We don't have anything to eat for Christmas Day.
I gotta go out. I want to pick up a couple little things.
It's not a funny thing. We got to find something, and
then we'll be ready to go. Then it becomes the big wrapping.
Creating. Oh my God! What? I don't know how this happened, seriously, but I've got 1, 2, 3 copies of this. I don't know. All I know is these Harvey books. Before I left Dallas, when did I leave Dallas? It's been a year and a half? I think it has. Summer. Was it during the summer? I have no idea. I think it was around April of, what year is this, 2023? It was April of 2022. So it's coming up on 2 years in April. When I go to Duncanville Books, they had copies of Harvey, this Marvel Archie imitation, in really nice condition, but they had really high prices on them, like $20, $35. This one, I got a discount on it, I think. A slight discount, but I paid that. To me, that seems like a really high price for this, but I don't know. It's such a wonderful cover, I didn't even balk, because look at that. Everything that's wonderful in life, Archie-style art, beatniks, early 70s kind of fashion, and a horrible, ghoulish, demonic, mad scientist. It's actually Dr. Fauci. Don't you insult that wonderful man. He did so much for us. Yeah, right. All right. He's got congestion problems. Shannon does. Look, how about that? Let's see what people in the peanut gallery are saying.
Ups and downs as usual.
Everyone's got these little rivalries. There's a guy named Jackson Roykirk that apparently is an enemy of Eric. And then there's someone that's an enemy of Jumbo, but I think it's the same guy. And then there are the puppet people that are always making fun of Eric Breen for being older than they are. And it's like their little comedy routine they do every time, and it's I don't know. You make fun of someone for being old, just hope that you get old. I mean, the alternative, I don't know. I don't think you should make fun of people for being old. I mean, it's not something they can do anything about. Oh well, it's just friendly joshing, but sometimes, even it never ends, it just stops being funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Get the calendar out.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here's some unbagged comics. Well, here's Tomb of Darkness number 12. Okay. Why don't I have Tomb of Darkness 1 through 11? That's one of the crazy things. Here's a copy of Tomb of Darkness number 19 that is not bagged and boarded. This sound collage is the way I used to live. Myself, my dog, and my 2 cats.
I want to see it. I don't know if I'll see it in the theaters. I'll probably wind up having to wait until it comes on demand or whatever. But
they must be talking about Aquaman.
Basically lived through that, but with their career, you know, when they started and whatnot. What
is he talking about?
I mean, everybody's heard me talk about wrestling.
I'll watch this later. Oh, it's something about wrestling.
Videotapes, and a lot of them, I started right around 82 videotaping wrestling shows, and they were one of the first shows that I was taping was the World Class Championship Wrestling.
I don't know much about wrestling.
Texas, so. Yeah, they were all over the place. They were big.
Here's Tomb of Darkness 22.
They were fighting the Freebirds or somebody, but they were like wrestling in the Silverdome in Michigan, you know. So they were huge.
Yeah.
Now see, that one
At the time,
that we just looked at had news stories. At this point, we're getting reprints of old Strange Tales stories. And the cool thing about Marvel in this time period, they'd always tell you where it came from. This one originally presented in Strange Tales 16. But these would be reprints of pre-code horror. But they wouldn't reprint the more ghastly pre-code horror stories. They would reprint ones that were somewhat tamer. This one's actually from Venus number 19. Okay, what are they? Oh, they're going to tell you. They're going to read the peanut gallery stuff. Okay. Every Christmas I watch some Howdy Doody. I probably should do that. This is a beat-up copy of Tomb of Darkness 23.
And good morning to everybody in the Peanut Gallery. Thanks for being with us again today.
I was the first one to comment. Let's see if they mention me.
That's it. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'm going to take this thing off. It's driving me crazy.
Man, who's this artist?
Oh, I knew it wouldn't last
Nice art.
long. Jesus, something good, Emma.
This is from Marvel Tales 132.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, we'll take these because I know these are gonna fall
That's
off.
pretty weird.
Poke me in the eye or something, you know. All right, let's get to the comments here. All righty, this is the Christmas extravaganza. Here we go.
There's an ad for
Now we're
those
starting off
Mead
with
school
Gratu
supplies.
Orloff,
Oh,
all
listen.
the way from the Hotel Orloff. Great to have you with us, Gratu.
Yeah, hello, Doctor. Hope things are well up in Staten, Virginia, or wherever you are today.
Yes, hope you guys are a lot better. It's on. I watched the video, his video last night. I watched the video when you had mentioned that you saw
I watched that last night. Yeah.
hitbacks and stuff like that. Very cool. Sounds like it's a little bit better. Still got a little bit of a cough. I heard, but hopefully him and the missus are feeling better.
Yeah, I always show some great stuff. I didn't get to comment. It was a fun show.
Oh, they like my show.
Yeah, an easy comic reader. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Makes me feel like it's all worthwhile.
You want to read the poem?
Let's see. That's cool.
Let's see.
The show where I showed paperbacks that I thought no one liked that show, but apparently people are talking about it. That's pretty cool. Tomb of Darkness.
Some seek perfection, worthy of cases. I just want to read them. They take me to many places. So true. So
yeah.
true.
Now let's see. We got Tower of Shadows. Those all seem to be bagged and boarded. Uncanny Tales. I'm flipping through looking for anything that doesn't have a bag and board, because I have a whole bunch of bags and boards here. I keep them in this lid, which is a good way to store these bags and boards. I put the board in the bag, and I just slip the comic into it, and I keep them in here so they don't slide all over the place. That's how I do it. That's the way I've been doing it most of my time now. In the crypt of terror.
Yeah, thank you, kind sir. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Rob, for hanging out.
Vault
with
of
us
Evil.
again.
Here's my childhood copy.
Get a chance,
That was a
check out
wonderful
the
day in 3rd grade when I bought
The
that.
show comes on sometime just shortly after us, either like noontime or 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. Just definitely go to this channel and check it out. And we've got Rob Brown. He's with us this morning. Thank you, Rob. How you doing?
Okay, man.
Merry Christmas, Red. We were kind of chatting a little bit about comics on the Facebook Messenger last night, as always. So, good morning to Rob. He's got some good.
Here's some War is Hell that don't have.
Cool beans. Good morning.
My childhood copy of War is Hell
And Rob also says comic collectors are a special breed.
doesn't have a board.
Special
And this is a.
Yeah.
These bags go bad so quickly now, man. It's just horrible. All Joe Biden's fault. Let's look at it while we're at it. This one I bought off the stand in the PX in San Antonio, Texas. I remember it like it was yesterday. Instead of 50 years ago.
Ratted that comic of Donald Duck. I wadded it up and threw it in a wastebasket. Oh no!
Ouch! Ouch! He says, then I promptly got sick.
Look at that.
And threw up my lunch. LOL. That's when I realized I had a problem.
War is heck. I won't say that word on a family program.
I think we've all been there at one point or another.
Imagine if they put out a comic and it said war is heck. That would be hilarious. Give me a comic book company and look at the comic books that would come out. Give me the power. Like, what was the president's name in Riot in the Streets? Forget his name.
Thanks for hanging out with us, sir.
Nothing can change the shape of things. Look at this delightful 2-page spread for your Christmas edification. Someone was showing Christmas stuff on one of the shows, 4 Color Fossils, I don't know, and someone says, boy, you're really in the Christmas spirit. No, it was on this show. It was on Comic Book Memories, I think it was last week, and Shannon was showing some horror comics, some Warren, creepy and eerie, and some, boy, you're really in the Christmas spirit. He says, hey, it's comic book related. It's like, well, I better put away my horror comics because Halloween's over. I'll get them out next year at October 15th. It's like, no, I like horror comics all year long. I got Halloween decorations up all year long, Christmas decorations up all year long. That's how I roll. As Night Tiger says, that's my jam. That's my jam. Look at that. So if I want to show you people being blown up by grenades on the day before Christmas, I'll do it. and you'll take it.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Anyway, I need more subscribers. Your mission is to find more subscribers so I can get to the 666 subscriber, and that'll be a heck of a show when I have my 666 subscribers show. Do people do that? Is that a thing when they get to 666 subscribers, or do they want to just keep it kind of quiet? Oh, I don't know. That's
Thank you very much, John. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try for later on this afternoon. If not this afternoon, I will do it tomorrow.
That is something else. I never really noticed this on the cover. They're shooting this guy. Says, keep firing. Nobody can be shot that many times and still live. Look, they're blowing this guy apart. His blood. I don't ever remember seeing blood like that on the front of a Marvel comic. Whenever Conan would be slicing up people with swords, or Cole would be chopping up people with axes, there would always be black blood. Same with Jonah Hex. He'd shoot people. Black India ink would come out because black blood is code approved. War is hell.
All the guys would come in and say, hey, Eddie, hey, Daryl, hey, Tim, you two shed it. So that's kind of like our thing, you know. That's what that reminds me of.
Always fun. And speaking of Jackson,
Merry Christmas, folks. From Jackson Roy, Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas, Jackson. Great to have you with us once again. Thank you.
This has got a tape pull, unfortunately, but this is a reprint of the first appearance of Gratu. The original appearance was Strange Tales. It's over here on the wall. Can you see, where is what? Where is it? Oh, there. Can you see it there? I'll center it. See it right in the middle there, underneath the Donald Trump sticker next to Medusa. The original cover was redrawn for that by Marie Severin for that reprint. Oh, here's a Where Monsters Dwell that is not bagged and boarded. There's a price sticker that says 5 cents that I'm not going to try to remove. This one is not in very good shape. It's got some chew. Look at that chew. I think I know where I probably got this. I must have gotten this. There was a local comic book store that got an unbelievable comic collection. And but a lot of them were chewed like this because they've probably been left in a shed for 30 years.
Always shows great stuff.
And I.
Variety, man. It's like, yeah, he's one of us.
Yes, definitely,
Who's that?
definitely.
And the Jack Roy character.
Yeah, normally I wouldn't buy one in this condition, but how often do you see this book? You know, Jackson Roy put "Merry Christmas to you, you old fart."
Even Eric's laughing at that one. Oh.
There's some Steve Ditko art.
Rob Brown says, "Merry Christmas, my friends."
And Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Brown. Dr. Montilla, he says,
Anyone ever have this Snoopy actually flying a real plane instead of his doghouse? I never had that model kit. I never saw it. So, yeah, this book's in crap's condition.
I gotta check this video out.
I watched it last night. I couldn't remember that. I'll have to go back. Of course, my memory is not quite what it was, so, you know.
Oh, wow, you ain't alone.
Oh, they're talking about Higgy Pop. Yeah, he would always, what does he call this? Whoa! Whoa minus condition. He's like the Fonzie of the comic book community.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you, buddy. And he got my favorite avatar right there.
It's like
USA, baby.
Higgy Pop makes comic book collecting cool as opposed to this nerdy hobby that we all know that it really is. But when you see Higgy Pop, he doesn't seem like the type person who would be a comic book collector. And it's like we're all Potsies, and we say, oh, there's this guy that's like Fonzie collecting comics, so maybe we're not as bad as we think.
And Tempest from Mars. You might be a new one. I'm not.
Okay, where monsters dwell.
Welcome to the Peanut Gallery. Welcome to the show, and a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Number 5, which I could definitely use an upgrade of.
Because he says, good afternoon, Merry Christmas, everyone from the UK.
Oh, here's number 6 with a reprint of the first appearance of Groot. Of course, we can't afford the first appearance of Groot, so we get this one. But I had this one before Groot became a thing, a modern thing. Here's number 7. This one's not as bad. This cough will keep going for months. I'll probably stop coughing in February. That's a cool ad. You don't see this ad in color very often, but look at that. That would be good, and I'm not joking, that would be cool to blow up into a poster. Where Monsters Dwell 7.
Has he been on the chat before?
Yeah.
Yep, I recognize the name. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. You think me mad, do you? This is the thing about these monster stories is they always made me laugh. This artwork is so great, so hilarious. This is one of the great ones. Rambu.
Well, by lunchtime, he said, Dr. Santa age, yeah. Santa's aged all right, let me tell you.
So you can hippie-ize your bedroom with your love light. Take a money-making psychedelic lift. Why is it money-making? Exciting light show, imagine. Music comes alive with light. Throw a love light party. Invite boys to assemble love lights. Invite boys? What? I think this is an ad meant for romance comics. See, it says, invite boys to assemble love lights and stay for a come-together. A come-together jam session or Woodstock Festival party. Only 6 at $3.33 each, durable plastic. Or 2 for $6.66. You can have them in your parties, bar, or they show you. How many 10-year-old kids have a bar? You don't have. I can't read a damn thing. Because I don't have my magnifying glass.
That's just horrible. Yeah. And I tried for a while, and you noticed last week I had the little fur going on the fuzzy fur face. I just can't grow.
All right, now I can read this ad.
Sorry, gotta go.
Take a money-making psychedelic lift. Make it yourself. Save money. Earn more. Love light. Exciting light show. Imagine you assemble from parts we send you, and you wind up with a terrifical psychedelic lamp that flashes, fades, fluctuates, pulsates in multicolors in time to music you play. Take a money-making psychedelic lift. Music comes alive with light, sound you can see. Picture a room, total darkness, total silence. Then the walls and ceiling explode with light and music, with sound and color, beating and throbbing together in seemingly perfect harmony. Who's writing this, man? The love light creates the ultimate psychedelic mood. In time, your favorite music you play, from rock to Bach. The mind is flooded, the imagination soars, ever-changing psychedelic patterns move, flicker, flutter, and flash to the beat of music. Endless combinations of reds, blues, yellows, and greens. Fantastic, fascinating, hypnotic. And you assemble it yourself, saving her money. In other words, they send it to you not assembled. You have to build it, so you're earning money, but you're getting it cheap because we're going to send you a bunch of cheap parts. Anyone can do it. You don't have to know a thing electrical or mechanical to assemble this way up and out lamp in a matter of minutes, and you'll sell them even faster. Snaps together with simple fasteners. You get everything: cord, sockets, bulbs, screens. Order your sample kit now. Mail coupon. Yeah, throw a love light party. Invite boys to assemble love lights and stay for a come-together, jam session, or Woodstock festival party. Order six at $3.33 each. Oh, okay, so that's a lot more money. They're tricking you there.
Gotta admit, I like them.
Guaranteed to deliver psycho-delicious thrills or money back. Psycho-delicious. I never heard that before. What does it say over there? Reds, wow. Music, blues, greens, yellows. A full foot tall. Okay, well, incredible. It's the Love Light. You ever read this ad? They're wanting you to buy a whole bunch of them, build them, and then sell them, and you'll be just the richest hippie in your town.
Hold on just a second here.
And cops will pull you over and say, well, where'd you get all this money, hippie? So I was selling love lights, man. Love lights there. I was psychedelicizing my mind. Where Monsters Dwell, number 7 is where you can see that love light ad. My soul has been psychedelicized. Come on. Here's 2 that aren't bagged and boarded. Where Monsters Dwell 18. That's a great cover.
She continues to expand her vocabulary, and she's still shocked.
The Mask of Morgum.
That says it all.
Oh, man, yeah. Gotta love her, Pauline.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Precious Pauline. Thank you for that, Dr.
Look who's smiling now, the serial killer.
What Pauline's up to?
He's smiling because he knows they'll never catch him.
Andy Jackson Rourke says, sadly, that's true, werewolf.
Can I?
And Easy Comic Reader says, my favorite wrestler was the great Kabuki, huh? Yeah, he put in some appearances down there in Dallas,
I gotta
Texas,
get it
with
right.
Ron Eric.
Oh, yeah. And Ron just says Pauline is just keeping you from eating junk food, John, but I get it.
Speaking of food, I wanted to ask everybody in the peanut gallery.
That might be the screen grab attractor. Is that what they call it? A screen grab attractor?
Like to get or eat or that somebody makes for you on Christmas at Christmas time.
Too skinny? That's really not a problem anymore in 2023. No one's trying to put on weight. There's the blood-curdling vampire bat. I think I had one of those that I got at Stuckey's. I don't know what happened to him, but I think it was the exact same mold as that little thing. It was about this big.
Shredded ham, and I mean, I could just like live on that for like a week. And most of the time I do.
Be a veterinary assistant.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. Mine's the same way. My mom,
I can't tell you. Well,
said she
never
puts on
mind.
a spread on Christmas, but she always makes.
Every time you meet like a
we talked about this
real
last
goth,
night. We've got
when you're
people
younger,
that
you meet a
some
goth
say,
vampire type girl, they're always veterinary assistants. You notice that? That seems to be a occupation that attracts punk rocker type girls.
Sugar cookie dough. Put some compost, cherry compost.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's get this bagged and boarded. Let's get this show on the road. I actually look at comic books.
So it doesn't cover the whole thing, but just kind of blotches it.
It's like, why would you open your comic book? You might damage it.
I love them things. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So,
Oh yeah.
everyone's saying the new Aquaman movie is just
Hey, I'm 2 days away
terrible.
from getting my fill, so
It's
I'm
shocking.
ready to go. Anxious to hear
Okay.
what other goodies and snacks and
And then there's another movie coming out, but I think it's straight to video, to streaming from Zack Snyder. What is his name? Zack Snyder? Yeah, the guy that made.
Merry Christmas to you, QNS.
He emerged from nowhere with a remake of Dawn of the Dead that seemed clever to me at the time.
Merry Christmas to you.
But really, all the cleverness
Stopping by and spending your
wouldn't have existed if the original Dawn of the Dead didn't exist. And then he made the movie 300, which seemed like, wow, this is like really cool. And you realize, well, he just used the original comic book frame for frame. He filmed exactly what was in each panel. So is he a director, or is he just, and he kind of did that with Watchmen too, which he deviated from sometimes, and that's when it got real weak. Okay, and then they say, well, this guy knows how to make comic book movies. Let's put him in charge of the whole DC universe. And Man of Steel, yeah, when he's not adapting something straight from a comic, and he's allowed his own little mind to add in things, he drops the ball. And he makes Superman a real dark kind of character, and then that never smiles, and then it was just problems like killing off Jimmy Olsen instantly. It was. But but you think, well, there's still, I see the original cut of Justice League, and I see, them the Amazonians, shooting this arrow, flaming arrow to alert the world, It's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there was some cool stuff, but then he made a movie. What was it? Was it a Living Dead movie? I think it was a Living Dead movie he made, and it was it was during the pandemic, and it was unbearably bad. It wasn't as bad as the movie Glenn Danzig made, but it was bad, man. It was like Ed Wood kind of bad. And then you realize this guy's just nothing. This guy's just is terrible. And now he's made a movie that's kind of like a Star Wars kind of movie, supposedly, called Rebel Moon, and everyone's saying it really is just unbelievably bad. It's as bad as the Star Wars movies Disney's making now. I didn't show you this. Strike Clag, too long of Earth.
So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes.
Okay, there's a mistake in the. It says, too long have Earth-man waged war on their own kind. That should be Earth-men. Am I not? I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, because have, that would be like saying too long have man waged war. Either it needs to be has or it needs to be Earth-men. Today Earth dies. But anyway, this guy with a blue head is not very good at grammar. But he may not have paid attention in grammar school because he was busy exterminating whole populations of planets. That might be it. This looks like a little like Herbie the robot that would later appear in the... Oh, look at that. Earthmen, you will have nothing and you will love it. What is the Klaus Schwab quote? You will have nothing and you will love it. You will eat the bugs and you will live in a cardboard box. You ever heard of this guy Benjamin Fulford? Go to Rumble and look up Benjamin I think his name's actually pronounced Fulford. He pronounces it Fulford. Fulford. He lives in Japan now. He's actually Canadian. And he's this conspiracy guy. And most conspiracy people, everything they tell you is really kind of true. This guy, man, he says that there's 2 Donald Trumps, and one's down underground, you know, in a bunker, and there's another one that we see. I mean, he tells you some crazy stuff, man. I don't know how much of it's true. But it's sure fun to listen to. I was listening to him this morning. He's talking about, you know, when they cleaned up San Francisco, all those homeless people just disappeared because they were bringing in the Xi Jinping or whatever his name is. The guy that looks like Winnie the Pooh was coming into San Francisco and they wanted the streets clean. So he's saying, well, they found, so one of my sources tells me that he went in, he was at a warehouse and they found thousands of bodies of the homeless people, and they'd removed all their organs and they'd taken their arms and legs. Supposedly, it's funny because it's funny until it turns out to be true. Who knows? Because people say that the homeless people haven't returned. Imagine if our government really is that evil, which is a very good possibility. I mean, that's happened in other countries, but who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. Oh, I have another copy of 20. Is this one in better shape? Oh, this is from the Dwayne Harris pedigree collection. See his name there? He's very creative in the way he writes his name, because you really can't write your name anywhere on this cover because it's all dark. So he had to stagger the letters, Dwayne Harris, over the letters of monsters. Oh, my back. Ouch. Bending over like, man, I shouldn't do this, man.
Godzilla -1 lived up to its reviews. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, how do you see Godzilla -1, guys? I guess I have to live in an actual city. I keep hearing people talk about how great it is, but I think you have to live near a place that actually has something other than a single-screen movie theater. Yeah. This is the guy they sent out to clear up the San Francisco streets. Okay, we need to clean up some streets of homeless. Would you go out and grab them? And you can eat their arms and legs. You can. This ad always was interesting. When the underground entered into the mainstream comics, usually it was through ads like for Roach t-shirts and stuff, or it's just like in the ads you could tell there was a counterculture out there. There were underground comics, and they're with this unique style of drawing that was usually very old style, like 1930s style art. But I remember just staring at this ad, and it was like I was aware, oh, there's a whole world out there of these hippies making comics, and the hippies were coming into comics around this time, and you know, Jim Starlin and people like that, and they were. And Howard the Duck was an attempt to bring underground into the ground level comics. This is ground level, and then there are the underground comics. But they cleaned it up a bit, you know, but it was still, you know, it was still a kind of a counterculture idea, you know, this duck that had a human girlfriend and stuff. And,
He'd gift my mom with one every
Yeah.
treasured memories. Indeed.
Great stuff.
Man,
Very cool.
these are Silver Age boards, but
Everyone's in the house. Hey, everyone.
it's hard to fit
Hey,
these
Beckerman, Merry Christmas, sir.
Bronze Age books in them. I need
Thanks
sometimes.
for hanging out with us again this Saturday morning.
Maybe I do need to put everything in Golden Age bags. I think that might be the easier way. I think Charlton 66 is onto something.
Stuff like that.
And
Okay.
Doc Poncho says, indeed, Tom.
Worlds Unknown.
It ends with pumpkin pie.
Lady Ann says, hey there, Beckerman.
Okay,
Merry Christmas.
my childhood copy of Worlds Unknown #2. The bags, you know, kind of but I'm gonna save it because it's better to put a comic in that. But I'm gonna put this Worlds Unknown into this new. This is my childhood copy. I'll always be able to identify it because my older brother Mike drew blood on the fangs of the T-Rex
Next week, yeah.
or Allosaurus, or whatever.
Says, oh, yeah.
Michael Taylor is in the house. Hey, Michael, Merry Christmas.
Pulse-pounding action epics from the powerful pens of L. Sprague de Camp and
He says,
Keith
hello, Doc.
Laumer.
Sorry, I'm late. Just woke up.
And there's the Foom ad
On a Saturday.
that I responded to. I sent off for Foom. I
Glad you're here, though. Glad you're here. Thanks for spending this.
got my Foom poster over there, which I can't really show you because then I would show you a picture of Betty Page that's not family friendly.
Our cats do that all the time.
But I got this. It's Val Merrick and Ernie Chua, who would later become Ernie Chan.
They can see the birds there.
I love this. I loved dinosaurs so much in 2nd grade,
You want to do that?
and
Hippies Collectible says, and Rod goes poof. Yeah. I just said that.
and this was right up my alley.
Harry Houdini there.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? A gun for a dinosaur. If I'm not mistaken, this was later made into a TV movie. I could be wrong. I know that
Jackson says, those pesky reindeer must have pulled the blood.
they did a Killdozer adaptation of a Theodore Sturgeon story in this comic, and it was made into a TV movie that was all the talk of the playground. And the TV movie came on right about the same time as the comic coming out. See, this one I can tell that I don't know if you can see it now that's been bagged, but around the letter, if the light hits it just right, you can tell that there's indentations where I trace this. I put a sheet of notebook paper over it and I traced the Worlds Unknown logo so I could make my own Worlds Unknown comic with my own cover. I stole their logo. Worlds Unknown 1, 2, 3. See, this is a upgraded copy I got that doesn't have the blood drawn on the fangs from
There we go. And Michael Taylor says,
Duncanville Books. I have to kind of say Duncanville Books with a sigh a little bit because I really miss that store. Although my wallet doesn't miss that store. They weren't that expensive, it was just there was so much good stuff there. Here's Worlds Unknown #3, where they adapt The Day the Earth Stood Still.
in Florida. This morning, the package is in California.
Gort is Green Robot in the Marvel adaptation.
Holy man.
I have the original story, The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original movie in the 50s was based on, so I could look and see if in the original story he was depicted as green, but oh well. Look at the destructive power punch that you could get. You can learn how to do.
Great stream and Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, sir. I hope it's not too terrible today in retail purgatory.
Yeah.
That's it.
Look at
Eric, have a great day up there. I know you.
this is the way they depicted Warlock in that James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy part. Was that part 3 or part 4? Probably 3. Let's see. Here's
Christmas.
And Rob Brown, nothing like the smell
he's a little effeminate.
Easy Comic Reader says, take care, Bree.
And Mike Doe says, good morning, Bronya. Merry Christmas to you as well.
Interesting. Well, that's
Kiki Puppet Show is in the house.
I guess they didn't want to make it look too much like the movie.
He says, be sure to stop by tonight at 7 p.m. Central for a special Saturday night reading of Action Comics 105. Well, there you go. You got it right from the frog's mouth.
That's the only thing you need, right there.
Worlds Unknown #3.
Comic Book Curator 68 says, we got the Goodwill catalog.
Nothing wrong with that either. You can
All right, here's my
Right.
childhood
an ECR.
Worlds Unknown
ECR meant hello.
number 5.
Jackson Roy Kirk says, does the Yellow Pages count?
By this point,
Oh.
And Charles Bourdain says, I'll have your spam. I love it. Yeah, I kind of like it myself.
by this point, it is February of '74. So you count back 2 months to December of '73. So this would have come out about Christmas time of 1973, my 3rd grade year.
Apple crust dough. I lived for it as a kid.
In San Antonio, where I was living, Star Trek, the 1960s TV series, came on local TV in syndication in September of '73, a few months before that. It must have been throughout the country that Star Trek, did I say Star Wars? Star Trek was syndicated around that time, because there was an explosion right at that time in my 3rd grade year, as my 3rd grade year progressed, in Star Trek merchandise. You know, initially there were just the Star Trek paperbacks, and that was about it. But then the Star Trek Enterprise model kit was reissued. And then there was the hobby shop would have big signs, the Klingon battle cruiser coming on such and such day, which I don't think was made in the 60s. I think that was made then. And then you got the little set with the tricorder and the communicator and all that, and the phaser. And then they had the Romulan Bird of Prey came out, that all of that time. And then there were the Mego Star Trek action figures, and it was Planet of the Apes was the same way. Planet of the Apes was something really from the 60s and into the early 70s, but it was in that year of 73, the 73-74 school year, Planet of the Apes came on CBS Friday night movies. They showed all 5 of them within the span of a month or 2, and blew the minds of the elementary school kids that were too young to see Star Trek and Planet of the Apes in their original airings and theatrical showings. And that's when the toy explosion for Planet of the Apes and Star Trek started. Why am I talking about this? Because here they mention Star Trek. A monster. My eyes are getting bad. A monster stalks the spaceship in Marvel's masterwork in the tradition of TV Star Trek. So they put Star Trek there to sell it. Okay, this is like Star Trek. Or as they say in 2023, it's Star Trek adjacent. That is the worst, man. It used to be like, hey, it's really like Star Trek, but now I don't know where this started. I think it started in liberal circles, because they started talking about crackpot conspiratorial theories as being... You're not allowed to say this letter on YouTube, but it looks like that. Like, it's the same, it's a letter that the word queef starts with, or queen. It's that letter. And you're not supposed to talk, but that was something that presented ideas on the internet that mainstream and